This is the Estadio Olímpico, Mexico City, October 12, 1968. The opening day ceremonies of the 19th Olympiad of the modern Olympic era. This is the Estadio Olímpico today, the scene of one of the most dramatic competitions in the history of the Olympic Games. Walking the field is Bill Toomey. In 1968, Bill Toomey was one of 5 men who battled it out for the gold medal in the most grueling test of individual achievement devised for the Olympic Games. Over a 2-day period, Toomey competed in 10 events, 5 the first day, 5 the second day. A combination of running, jumping, and throwing. The event, the decathlon.
The origin of the decathlon is found in Greek history. The Greeks were very concerned with the ultimate man, sound mind and sound body. With the revival of the 1896 Olympic Games, it wasn't until 1912 that the decathlon was introduced. Now, in this first big decathlon competition, the big name, Jim Thorpe.
It is July 1912. King Gustav of Sweden officiates at the opening of the newly built Olympic Stadium in Stockholm. It is the 6th revival of the modern Olympic Games. It was the year Hannes Kolomainen of Finland won 3 gold medals in the 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters, and cross-country. But his achievement was surpassed by an American Indian, Jim Thorpe, who won the 5-event pentathlon and then would attempt to win the first Olympic decathlon ever held. The decathlon was designed to epitomize the Olympic theme, Citius, Altius, Fortius, swifter, higher, stronger. Jim Thorpe was supreme. The second-place finisher was almost 700 points behind, one of the greatest margins in Olympic decathlon history. After the Games, Jim Thorpe lost his medals and his place in the record books when it was decided he had competed as a professional. In 1982, 70 years after his great victories, the International Olympic Committee approved the return of his medals. Jim Thorpe's roommate, the silver medal winner in the 1,500-meter run in Stockholm, was Abel Kvyat of the United States.
I roomed with him. The best-natured guy in the world. He was so nice, so pleasant. Big overgrown country kid, you know. Weighed about 175 to 180 stripped. 5'11" and a fraction. And they said he had a neck of 19¼ inches. Like a wrestler. And he walked that way, chest out. I think that Thorpe was the greatest athlete that ever lived. There isn't anything he couldn't do. All he had to see someone do something. He'd hesitate, look, and he'd almost duplicate it, almost instantly.
Thorpe's outstanding score held until the 1928 Games in Amsterdam. There, Paavo Urejula, a 26-year-old farmer from Finland, set a new decathlon record. This is Paavo Urejula today. He was born on this farm in the year 1902. He would work the land during the day, and in the evening the farm would become his training ground in preparation for the Amsterdam Games.
I was able to practice with a real discus, javelin and shot put. I would throw them from this spot as far as I could. Then I would walk the distance to where it landed, and I knew approximately how far I had thrown. I cut down one of the trees out there and made a pole to practice for the pole vault. I also made my own hurdles. I did not know whether they were the right height. My farm became my training track. I calculated that the rock out there was about 200 meters from here. So I used to run back and forth to practice for the 400 meters and 1500 meters. I did not think I was so outstanding, breaking Jim Thorpe's record. His training conditions were even worse than mine. I knew I was going to win the gold medal in Amsterdam. I would read the newspapers and find out how my competition was doing, but they didn't know how well I was doing, so I knew I would win.
With World War II over, the 1948 Olympic Games was staged in London, England. The track and field world was amazed and stunned by a performance from a 17-year-old from Tulare, California. This young boy had little or no experience in the decathlon. His name, Bob Mathias.
When I was 17 years old and a senior at Tulare High School, I was going out for football, basketball, and of course track and field. And one day my coach came up and said, "Bob, how would you like to try a new event called decathlon?" So I says, "Fine, Coach, it sounds like a lot of fun. What is it?" Well, even my coach did not know what the 10 events were, but he did find out, and I went to Los Angeles for my first decathlon meet. First time I'd really been out of Tulare, first time I had competed against college athletes, and I was pretty scared. But somehow I was pretty lucky and I came in first. So 3 weeks after that, I was on a big boat sailing to London. And of course, this time I was just really scared.
It is July 29th, 1948, the opening day ceremonies of the London Olympic Games. 12 years have passed since Glenn Morris's record-breaking triumph in Berlin. Under brilliant sunny skies, King George VI of Great Britain arrives to formally open the Games. More than 6,000 athletes from 59 nations mass in London's Wembley Stadium to greet Britain's wartime monarch. One of these athletes is Bob Mathias of the United States. One week after opening day, the decathlon begins. In the first event, the 100-meter dash, Bob Mathias makes a formidable showing. His time of 11.2 places him third amongst the 35 competitors. As the day moves on, the weather turns. By the fourth event, the high jump, Mathias falters slightly. He is back in 5th place.
In the high jump, I missed on a very low height. And if I'd missed that, I would have received not very many points. And they had a contingent from California in the stands. And these people were yelling, "Come on, Tulare, come on, Tulare," which is my hometown. Of course, I heard it. It relaxed me. I felt 100% better, and I raced up there, and I cleared it by 1 foot. And I think that was really the turning point in the whole 48 London Olympic Games because I felt at home. I knew I had some friends up in the stands.
At the end of the first day, Mathias was back in 3rd place. He is now in good position to challenge for the gold medal. Now on the second day, Wembley Stadium has turned into a quagmire of mud. Day has become night. The athletes are competing in virtual darkness. Visibility is determined by inches, not yards. Now in the 7th event, the discus, one of the strangest sequences in decathlon history takes place.
In those days, they had a different system of measuring the throws. Everybody would throw, and they'd put all these markers out there. And on one of my throws, it was probably the best throw I ever had in decathlon. So one of the throwers threw the discus, it landed right in front of my marker, and of course, knocked it over. So all these English officials came out there and they sort of guessed. They finally put it somewhere, and I think I probably lost about 10 feet on my official throw.
The distance the judges gave Mathias is still good enough to put him in 1st place, a lead he never relinquishes. In almost total darkness, with judges using flashlights to move about, Bob Mathias, at 17, becomes the youngest decathlon champion in Olympic history.
After the last event, it was 11 or 11:30 at night, and there were very few people up in the stands. My name was up in the scoreboard as a winner, and I could hardly believe it. And somehow my mom got down on the track, and she raced up to me and gave me a great big hug and said, "Robert, how do you feel?" Well, after this 1,500 meter and so forth, I was tired, and I said, "Mom, I'll never do this again as long as I live."
Three and a half months short of his 18th birthday, Bob Mathias announced that he had retired from Olympic competition.
4 years later in Helsinki, Finland, I was back again trying it, and I went to Helsinki as a defending Olympic champion. The pressure was on me. I knew what I was doing, and it was really the most thrilling thing that has ever happened to me.
Bob Mathias had rewritten decathlon history. 2 gold medals, 1948 in London, 1952 Helsinki.
Melbourne, Australia, the opening day ceremonies of the Olympic Games. Marching with the United States team, the man considered a certain favorite to win the decathlon, Rafer Johnson, the world record holder. His main opposition is expected to come from the Soviet Union champion, Vasily Kuznetsov. Given little chance to win the gold medal is Johnson's teammate, Milt Campbell.
A lot of things happened in 1956, and perhaps the most significant thing that happened was that I was not scheduled to win the Olympic decathlon. Rafer Johnson and Vasily Kuznetsov was scheduled to take first and second, and I was slated to take third. Rafer asked me how did he think it would all turn out, and I remarked to him that I thought that this was a very bad time that he showed up, because this Olympic Games was mine and I was willing to give everything that I had to do to get it. I looked at the expression on his face and realized that he also felt that I was ready.
4 years earlier in Helsinki, Campbell won the silver medal in the decathlon. Now here in his heat in the 100 meters, he sets the course for the whole of the competition. He turns in the fastest time. He continues to turn in great performances in the next 4 events. And at the end of the first day, he leads Rafer Johnson by 189 points. Kuznetsov is all but out of the competition, trailing Campbell by 573 points. The second day begins. The first event is the 110-meter hurdles. Milt Campbell is a world-class hurdler, capable of winning an individual gold medal in this event. Campbell's time, 14 seconds flat. With 4 events to go, there is little chance for Rafer Johnson and Vasily Kuznetsov to win the gold medal. The events go by, and Campbell continues to excel. He is threatening Rafer Johnson's world record, but here in the pole vault, he temporarily falters. Although the gold medal is secure, his chance at the world record is over. As the men get ready for the 10th and final event, it is now evident that Campbell is on his way to one of the great decathlon performances in Olympic history. But in his heat in the 1,500 meters, he will be involved in the most dramatic moments of the competition, his meeting with Ian Bruce of Australia.
Coming into the bell lap, I can remember seeing the man ring the bell and seeing the German begin to take off, and Vasily Kuznetsov begin to round the turn, and Ian Bruce was still behind me at this particular time. And all of a sudden I hear this voice off my shoulder saying, come on, big boy, it's time to run. I'm sure you can do better than this. Come on, let's run. I turned around and looked at Ian Bruce, and he was running like he had just walked on the track and started running. He wasn't breathing hard and he wasn't sweating. He just seemed to keep yelling at me at this particular point. So we started picking up the pace. And as we picked it up a little faster and a little faster, I could look up and see the Russian we began to close on the Russian tremendously. I can remember then going into the last turn, and thinking that I want to catch this guy. I've got to catch him. I've got to beat him. And Ian Bruce was saying at the same time, come on, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I thought this was fantastic because I could feel the speed picking up. And coming off the last turn, Ian Bruce and I got into a sprint, and stride for stride we came down. We passed the Russian, and we were driving for the tape, and I could remember having an edge on him right down to the wire. When we got down to the wire, he nipped me out.
Milt Campbell sets a new Olympic record. His Olympic career is now over. But for all time, Milt Campbell will be known as one of the legends of the decathlon. In his time, the finest all-around athlete in the world. This is the track and field stadium on the campus of the University of California, Los Angeles. It is called the Ducky Drake Stadium. This is Elvin Ducky Drake, trainer and coach. He is walking the field that has been named for him. Few men have been so honored while they are still alive. At the Rome Olympic Games of 1960, Ducky Drake would live through 48 hours of the most dramatic confrontation in Olympic decathlon history, the struggle between Rafer Johnson of the United States and C.K. Yang of Taiwan. The reason, Ducky Drake was the coach of both men. August 25th, 1960. Rafer Johnson is the flag bearer for the United States team. C.K. Yang, a member of the nationalist China team. While training with Ducky Drake, they were like brothers on and off the field. But here in Rome, their friendship would have a two-day moratorium. The Decathlon Championship was about to get underway.
They were both my boys, and even though one's an American, one's a Chinese, that couldn't mean anything to me because I was coaching both of them. And when I'm coaching both of those boys, then I'm for them both doing the very best that they can.
The opening event, the 100-meter dash. Johnson wins his heat in 10.9. It is worth 948 points. Now Yang's heat. 10.7. It earns him 1,034 points. He leads Johnson by 86. The second event, the long jump. Johnson, 24 feet, 3/8 of an inch. Yang, 24 feet, 5 3/4 inches. Yang gains 46 more points and now leads Johnson by 130. In the shot put, Yang reaches only 43 feet, 8 3/4 inches. Johnson, 51 feet, 10 inches. It's a 273-point swing for Johnson. He goes into the lead by 143. The fourth event, the high jump. Yang, 6 feet, 2 3/4 inches. Johnson jumps 2 inches less. Yang picks up 68 points, and Johnson's lead is cut to 75. The final event of the first day, the 400 meters. This is the first race Yang and Johnson meet head-to-head. Yang wins by 0.2 of a second and further cuts into Johnson's lead. Yang has defeated Johnson in 4 of the 5 events, but Johnson's tremendous point swing in the shot put, his lone victory over Yang, has given him the overall lead by 55 points as the first day ends. The second day is bright and clear as Yang and Johnson get ready for the 6th event, the 110-meter hurdles. This is normally a big event for Johnson. He is an outstanding hurdler with several important victories over world-class runners. But now he falters. He finishes more than a full second behind his own best time. Incredibly, Yang wins another event, gaining 183, catapulting him back into lead by 128. Johnson crushes Yang in the discus as he did opening day in the first throwing event, the shot put. He picks up 272 points and again leads Yang by 144. Johnson has won only the throwing events against Yang, but in so superior a fashion, it has offset Yang's victories in the 5 other events. Yang won't quit. He pole vaults 14 feet, 1 inch. Johnson vaults only 13.5, another 120-point swing to Yang, and Johnson's lead is now only 24. It is nighttime and there are 2 events left. The 9th event, the javelin, a throwing event. Johnson expects another big swing, but he gains only an additional 43 points and now leads Yang by 67. Now they are ready for the 10th and final event, the grueling 1,500-meter run.
Here they are with their heads turned away from each other. They've quit helping each other because the competition is so tough that either one of them can win. But even though I'm back up in the stands, I know exactly how the race is going to be run. And they know that if CK can outrun Rafer by 8 seconds, he can win the decathlon.
The 8 seconds Yang has to make up means that he must beat Johnson by at least 50 meters. This is a possibility. His best 1,500-meter time is almost 19 seconds faster than Johnson's best. Johnson's strategy is basic. He must stay on Yang's shoulder the entire race to win. Coming off the final turn, Yang cannot shake Johnson off. With 50 meters to go, it's all over. Yang wins the 1,500-meter battle against Johnson, but loses the decathlon war. He picks up only 9 points. Yang has beaten Johnson in 7 of the 10 events, but Johnson's overwhelming victories in the shot, discus, and javelin gives him the gold medal by 58 points. Like Milt Campbell before him, Rafer Johnson has traveled a 4-year road from the silver medal to the topmost point on the victory platform. CK Yang would make one more try at the Tokyo Olympic Games of 1964. At age 29 and hampered by injuries, Yang finished 5th. His quest for an Olympic gold medal was finally over. For Vasily Kuznetsov of the Soviet Union, his 3rd place finish was a repeat of his Melbourne performance 4 years before.
This was such an exciting decathlon that the people in the stands at the end of the 1,500 meters were chanting, the Italian people, "Give both of them a gold medal. Give both of them a gold medal." That's the way I felt about it.
Mexico City, October 12th, 1968. The opening day of the 19th Olympic Games. It is 6 days later, Friday, October 18th. 33 men from 20 countries get ready for the first day of the decathlon. There are 5 favorites: Nikolai Avalov, Soviet Union; Bill Toomey, United States; Joachim Kirst, East Germany; 2 West Germans, Hans Joachim Walde and the world record holder Kurt Bendlin. The first event, the 100-meter dash. Bill Toomey of the United States is on the extreme right. Toomey's time, 10.4, good for 959 points. Kirst runs 10.5. He trails Toomey by 27. Hans Joachim Walde of West Germany. He finished third in the Tokyo Olympic Games 4 years before. 10.9 and 879 points. He trails Toomey by 131. World record holder Kurt Bendlin is on the extreme right in his heat. .7. He trails Toomey by 80. The second event, the long jump. Bill Toomey.
Each long jump for me got progressively better. I started off at 25 and ended up with 25.9 3/4. I had to do that because if I didn't, Bendlin would be tough that second day because he had tremendous events in the vault and the javelin. It was nice to win the first two events.
Kirst of East Germany defeats Toomey in both the shot put and high jump and moves past him into first place. At the end of 4 events, Kirst leads Toomey by 109 points. Walde, West Germany, 3rd. Avilov, Soviet Union, 4th. Bendlin, West Germany, 5th. Now the 5th and final event of the first day, the 400-meter run. Kirst's time is a mediocre 50.2. Toomey now has a chance to regain the lead. He is one of the finest quarter-milers in the world.
I was really not expecting what happened. I got into, I guess, what a quarter-miler might call the perfect rhythm, and I ate the guys up in the stagger. I really couldn't believe what was happening. I sort of felt like I was going to get a good performance, but I didn't expect what was happening right here. And coming down to 220, I really knew that I was on. It was one of those things where it's like a dream.
Toomey's time, 45.6, almost 5 seconds faster than Kirst. It's good for 1,021 points, and once again puts him in first place. Night moves into day, and now they get ready for the final 5 events. Toomey is in first place, Kirst 2nd, Walde 3rd, Avilov 4th, and Bendlin 5th. The first event of the second day is the 110-meter hurdles. Toomey turns in a time of 14.9 and increases his lead over Kirst in second place to 187 points. Walde, West Germany, remains in 3rd, and Avilov, Soviet Union, 4th. For the injured Kurt Bendlin, there is a personal decision. If he quits the competition, there is honor. If he continues, there is honor and pain. He decides to go on. He finishes in 15 seconds flat and remains in 5th place, 361 points behind Toomey. But Bendlin and his teammate Walde have their best events in front of them. After 6 events, even though Kirst of East Germany is in 2nd place, Bill Toomey knows where the final challenge will be. The West Germans, Hans Joachim Walde and Kurt Bendlin. The day moves on. Toomey continues to hold first place after the discus and pole vault, but as expected, Hans Joachim Walde and Kurt Bendlin of West Germany cut down his lead. Joachim Kirst of East Germany and Nikolai Avilov falter and are all but out of contention for the gold medal. The 9th event, the javelin. Bill Toomey, 206 feet, 1/2 inch. Hans Joachim Walde, West Germany. .235 feet even. He gains 102 points on Toomey and now trails by only 74. Kurt Bendlin, West Germany. A magnificent effort, 247 feet 5 inches. He gains 145 points. Bendlin, in great pain and near exhaustion, is only 61 points behind Toomey. At the end of 9 events, it is Toomey first, Bendlin, West Germany second, Waldo, West Germany third. So now the two-day struggle has once again come down to the 1,500-meter run. A final 5 minutes of just plain courage. And each of them knows what he must do. And each of them will have a special grace in how he will do it. In the first lap, Toomey goes out to an early lead, followed by Bendlin, Avaloff, and Waldo. In the second lap, Toomey still leads, but Avaloff takes over second place from the exhausted Kurt Bendlin. But now, with 1 lap to go, Hans-Joachim Walde makes one last bid for victory. He sprints to a 10-yard lead over Toomey. Toomey can win the decathlon by maintaining this distance behind Walde to the finish line. But now for Toomey, there'll be one more test, a personal one. His belief on how the gold medal should be won. With 100 meters to go, Bill Toomey has won the decathlon. The final placings: Bill Toomey, United States first. Hans-Joachim Walde, West Germany second. Kurt Bendlin, West Germany third. Montreal, 1976. It is 8 years since Nikolai Avaloff of the Soviet Union first competed in the Olympic decathlon. He is now defending champion. At the Munich 1972 Games, he defeated his teammate silver medal winner Leonid Litvinenko by more than 400 points and scored a world record total of 8,454 points. But here in Montreal, Nikolai Avaloff is not the favorite. This is Bruce Jenner. At the Munich Games, Avaloff won the gold medal. Jenner finished 10th.
I was in such awe of the man, of what he had just done. I remember after the 1,500 meters, we had a pretty good relationship through the whole competition. When I saw Avaloff standing up on top of that platform, I looked at him and I was really in awe of what he had just done. And then after he got down off the victory stand, it really made me a lot hungrier, and I think it helped me in the next 4 years of training getting ready for 1976.
Jenner and Avaloff get ready for the first event. Jenner's strategy for the first day: to stay close to Avaloff and Guido Kratschmer of West Germany. Jenner's second day potential is by far the best in the world. His plan works to perfection. In the first 4 events, the 100 meters, the long jump, shot put, and high jump, Bruce Jenner turns in the best performance of his career. After 4 events, Guido Kratschmer of West Germany leads. Avaloff trails Kratschmer by 18 points. Bruce Jenner is in 3rd place, 69 points behind. Now the 400 meters. Jenner is in lane 5. Avaloff is to his right in lane 7. Kratschmer in lane 8 on the far outside. Jenner is running fastest of all. Avilov in the red shirt is passed by Jenner. Now Jenner goes after Kretschmer on the extreme left. Jenner wins. He now only trails the leader Guido Kretschmer by 35 points and Nikolai Avilov by 17 points.
By the end of the first day, when I was only 35 points out of the lead after the first 5 events and having 5 out of 5 personal bests, they knew they were in trouble. And I remember going up to Avilov and telling him to get a good night's sleep.
The second day begins. The first event, the 110-meter hurdles. Jenner plays it safe, making certain he doesn't hit any hurdles. Kretschmer's time is better than Jenner's, but far below his expectations. Avilov goes all out. His time of 14.2 is his all-time best. Avilov moves past Kretschmer into first place by 26 points. Jenner, in third, trails Avilov by 90. The seventh event, the discus. Jenner gets off a superb toss and far outdistances Avilov and Kretschmer. Jenner now moves into second place, 9 points behind Avilov. Kretschmer falls to third place. The eighth event, the pole vault. For Bruce Jenner, the pole vault is critical. Leading to Montreal, Jenner won 11 of 12 decathlons. His one loss came when he failed to earn any points in the pole vault, missing all 3 attempts at his opening height.
The pole vault was the last big hurdle I had to get over to win. I looked at the bar at 14 feet, which was my opening height. And I thought to myself, all I have to do to win the Olympic Games is to make it over that bar.
Jenner continues to vault superbly. His final height, 15 feet 9 inches, more than a foot higher than Avilov and 7 inches higher than Kretschmer. For the first time, Bruce Jenner leads the competition. Kretschmer second, Avilov third. Jenner increases his lead in the javelin. He throws 224 feet 9 inches. Kretschmer tosses 7 feet less. For Avilov, the javelin ends his chance for the gold medal. He throws 20 feet less than Jenner. After 9 events, it is Bruce Jenner first, Guido Kretschmer second, 88 points behind, Nikolai Avilov third, 149 points behind. Now the 10th and final event, the 1,500-meter run. For Bruce Jenner, there is a personal test. If he finishes, the gold medal is his. If he runs fast enough, he could set a new world and Olympic record. Leonid Litvinenko of the Soviet Union immediately goes into the lead. In the early part of the race, Jenner conserves his strength, running behind Avilov. In first place and out of the camera range is Litvinenko. Bruce Jenner passes Avilov and goes into second place 50 meters behind Litvinenko. Jenner now sets out after Litvinenko. Litvinenko is the best 1,500-meter runner of all the decathletes. From comparing personal best times, Litvinenko should beat Jenner by 40 meters. Jenner now knows the gold medal is his, but this is not enough. Bruce Jenner is out to break his own world record. Into the final turn, Litvinenko leads Jenner by 30 meters. Bruce Jenner wins the gold medal and sets a new world and Olympic record. The final placings: Bruce Jenner, United States first. Guido Kratschmer, West Germany second. Nikolai Avilov, Soviet Union third. August 8th, 1984, the Los Angeles Coliseum. Daley Thompson of Great Britain walks onto the field for the start of the decathlon, the two-day 10-event competition. A combination of running, jumping, and throwing, with the winner earning the title of the greatest all-around male athlete in the world. Thompson is the defending Olympic champion from the Moscow Games 4 years earlier. In 1980, many Western countries boycotted the Moscow Games. One of the countries that did not attend, West Germany. Therefore, Thompson would not be able to meet the West German world record holder, Guido Kratschmer. With Kratschmer not involved, Thompson is without doubt the class of the field. The question is not whether Thompson would win the gold medal, but rather if he would regain the world record. The predictions for an easy Daley Thompson victory are correct. On the first day, after the first two events, the 100 meters and the long jump, he is almost 200 points ahead of his nearest competitor. Thompson maintains his world record pace in the shot put and the high jump. And now in the fifth and final event of the first day, the 400 meters, Thompson is again magnificent. And at the end of the first day, he is 82 points ahead of Guido Kratschmer's world record pace. But on the second day, Thompson is not as effective. Although the gold medal is certain, he falters in his world record attempt. He still is easily in first place after the 110-meter hurdles, the discus, pole vault, and javelin. But now in the 10th and final event, the 1,500 meters, he must run faster than he has ever run to regain the world record. From the start, it is evident that Thompson will not make the attempt. He easily wins the gold medal, but falls short of setting a world record. Now, here in Los Angeles, there are similarities to his Moscow Olympic victory. Thompson is the favorite to win, but the world record is held by his new West German rival, 6 foot 6 inch Jürgen Hingsten. For Daley Thompson, there is always the joy of the competition.
There's nothing that I enjoy more in my life. I don't enjoy all the kind of the razzmatazz and all that kind of stuff. I'm happiest when I'm with a couple of my friends and at the track, and that's where I feel most at home. And so obviously to choose that situation if I don't need to, by going to work and all that kind of stuff, I think I'll try and put that one off for as long as I can.
Though Hingsten holds the world record, he has never defeated Daley Thompson in head-to-head competition.
He's a great athlete, and of course it's very hard to be always second against him, but that keeps me going. I mean, I know that he's very strong, and I know that he's also very friendly and always tries to be a little bit funny and buddy-buddy with everybody. And it doesn't bother me. I mean, I have my way and he has his way, and we both want the same thing.
If Thompson wins, he will become only the second man in history to win the decathlon twice. More than 3 decades before, at the 1952 Helsinki Olympics, 21-year-old Bob Mathias of the United States won the gold medal, repeating his performance of the London and the high jump. Now in the 400 meters, the 5th and final event of the first day, Thompson is again supreme. Coming down the final stretch, he leads Hingsten by 5 meters. His victory ensures his score to be the greatest first-day total in decathlon history. Thompson continues his magnificent performance on the second day in the 110 wins. Thompson's time is one of his best ever. In the seventh event, he momentarily falters. Only a tremendous throw on his last attempt in the discus preserves his lead. Thompson goes on to increase his lead in the pole vault and the javelin. And now in the 10th and final event, the grueling 1,500-meter run. Again, all Thompson has to do is finish to win the gold medal. DALEY Thompson accomplishes one of the greatest feats in Olympic history. He becomes only the second man in history to win the decathlon twice. In doing so, he earns the title of the finest all-around athlete in the world. Now he sets his sights on even a greater goal, the 1988 Seoul Olympic Games. There he will make the attempt to stand alone as the only decathlete to win 3 gold medals. September 28, 1988. 39 of the finest athletes in the world get ready for the 2-day competition. All eyes are on DALEY Thompson. Leading to the games, his physical condition has been suspect. He strained his leg and has been training poorly. This is not evident in the first event, the 100 meters, where he runs the fastest time of all and is in first place. He loses the lead in the long jump, but regains it in the shot put, the third event. At this point, it would be impossible for anyone to believe that this would be the last time DALEY Thompson would be in first place in the competition. In the high jump, little-known Christian Schenk of East Germany moves to the front with a height equal to the decathlon high jump record. He passes the sentimental favorite DALEY Thompson, Christian Plaziat of France, and his more famous East German teammate, Thorsten Voss. When the 5 events of the first day are completed, Schenk leads, followed by Plaziat. In third, Thompson, 138 points behind the leader. On the second day, Schenk continues to perform well. Thompson is well below his 1984 Olympic performance. In the 8th event, the pole vault, Thompson is injured when his pole breaks. His condition worsens and he falls back to 4th. Schenk is still performing magnificently, and as the 10th and final event starts, the gold medal is all but his. The only question is whether Thompson can win the bronze. But it is not to be. DALEY Thompson struggles to the finish line with one of the slowest 1,500 meters of his career. He falls to 4th place. The winner, Christian Schenk, East Germany, Thorsten Voss, East Germany 2nd, Dave Steen, Canada 3rd. DALEY Thompson vows that he will win his 3rd gold medal in 4 years' time at the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona.
July 25th, 1992, the opening day of the Barcelona Olympics. Athletes from 169 nations pass in review. It is the largest number of countries competing since the modern Olympic Games were revived 96 years earlier. 12 days later, the 8 leaders in the decathlon line up for the 110-meter hurdles, the first event of the second day of competition. After the first 5 events, Paul Meyer of Germany is in the lead. Trailing him by 75 points is Robert ZMELIK of Czechoslovakia. America's main hope, Dave Johnson, is in 9th place. Though injured, he is still given a chance to win a medal. Noticeably missing from the competition are 2 decathlon superstars. Daley Thompson of Great Britain, who retired because of recurrent injuries, and world champion Dan O'Brien, who failed to make the American team. At the Olympic trials, O'Brien, a pre-Olympic favorite, missed all 3 attempts at his opening height in the pole vault, destroying any chance of qualifying. Now, as the second day begins, there is no clear favorite. ZMELIK of Czechoslovakia, second from the right, is fastest of all. He wins easily and takes over the lead. ZMELIK maintains his lead after the discus and pole vault. Now the 9th event, the javelin. ZMELIK throws almost 194 feet. With 1 event left, ZMELIK's victory is assured. He is almost 200 points ahead, and all he has to do is finish the 1,500-meter run. As he crosses the finish line in second place in this final event, he is the winner of the decathlon by 199 points over Antonio Peñalver of Spain, the silver medal winner, and Dave Johnson of the United States, the winner of the bronze. On the award podium, there is even greater glory for Robert ZMELIK. In the history of the decathlon, no Czechoslovakian has ever won a medal or was amongst the top 10 finishers. Now, here in Barcelona, Robert ZMELIK has earned the right to stand on the top step of the podium, and with it, to be called the greatest all-around athlete in the world.